His name ain't on there? Oh, I don't know. I don't know who that is, bro.
Okay.
That should be some random white man name. Some random Asian man's name.
Diego Bond.
Some random Hispanic man's name. Show me a black person. Ask me their name. I bet I don't know it either.
I know. I was looking for someone who might be able to play Dante.
My lack of knowledge is universal.
Yeah, named Diego.
That's real.
Oh, check this out. So,
I do not know that man.
so when I was talking, you fucking stupid. So, I was telling my wife.
I gotta go back and watch that movie, man.
My wife was reading.
I do not know that man.
My wife was reading my story because I had finished typing it, and she was like, "You said." She said, "You said that."
Come down, I bet I know it.
She was like, "You said when I read this, I'm supposed to hear Jerry's voice with Victor." I said, "I promise you, if you just fuck with me, you'll see where I'm going with it." She was like, "Fine." She's watched a lot of these episodes with Jerry in it.
I was about to say, I ain't even know a lot of them.
With Jerry in it specifically. And she was like, "Yeah, because he's a dick."
I'm not a dick.
Because Victor is an asshole.
Yeah, that I can be. I keep trying to tell you, I'm not a dick. I'm a hemorrhoid because I agitate assholes too.
Yeah, like he's so confident and so boastful, and also a playboy, and also like, I'm better than you.
I don't think
I said you can pull it off.
A little bit.
I'm like, you can pull it off.
I can pull it off.
And but while at the same time realizing like somebody like Derek, who's the oldest, is like, I can't beat you no matter how hard I fucking try.
Oh, this is a Leonardo or Raphael situation.
Yeah, cause Derek that guy. But
which is interesting because I think in a fight of all the turtles,
Raphael would beat Leonardo.
No, I actually think Raph
Mikey
would go down first.
Mikey be the last, probably one of the last ones standing.
Mikey would be the last one standing.
I mean, he's the last Ronin.
I think. What you mean? No, I'm saying Mikey would be the last one standing.
Yeah,
he's faster than the others.
Yeah, I'm saying, and they have a story. Is the last
Ronin.
Yeah, the last Ronin. He's the one that was able to live.
All of them died in different situations.
Yeah,
but even if they all, I'm saying if they all fought each other, I think the last two standing would probably be between Mike and Donnie or Mike and Leonardo. And the only reason I say that is because Donnie is smart enough to make it to the end. It's a good fight between all of them. The only reason I think Raph will go first is because his temper gets the best of him, and Leonardo is too smooth. But I think Mikey's quickness and agility would be able to allow him to take his brothers out, especially when he pissed off.
Yeah, they showed that in the 2012 TMNT. The way he just go into that flow state.
Even though in the action movie, the newer one, the first one, I think it was when they tried to take the turtles like blood and shit.
Oh yeah.
There was a scene, and Donatello has the hardest scene in that movie. He hits a bad guy so hard with the stick that the stick spins in the air, and then he grabs it while it's still spinning and hits another dude. Like it was like pow, pow. I was like, oh shit. I'm sorry, I ain't trying to hit you, but it was just like, how the fuck you do that? And whoever thought of doing that on camera, that shit was hard.
Yeah.
Like, speaking of, the Academy Awards are finally putting a category for the stunt team.
Word?
Yes.
I mean, I wish they can go.
Finally.
I wish they can go back
and give people awards. It's just like, bruh, why the fuck has this never been
a category to begin with?
Yep.
Some people make y'all shit amazing.
I watched the whole entire. It was either Netflix or Hulu. It was a whole series about a stunt family, a famous stunt family, and it's like it was a reality show, but you could tell it was like the real thing. Like they were filming a movie in the process of doing it. So they showed scenes of them filming the thing. Like the dad got in the car, and they show how even though this family been doing this for years, like dad been doing this shit for like 30 some odd years. They got children in it now that's doing it too. Like it was the daughter's first time going out there driving the car, but the dad had to do a stunt. They've been doing the same similar stunts, but the mom gets hysterical every time. Like y'all been doing, he been doing this for years, and every time he get behind, like how you talking about for your show, how you get emotional. I like saying that from real people. Like that's your husband. Yeah. You know he gonna do his job, but every time he go out there, you scared. And you there watching him pull off the stunt. She's there with the girls watching him, and I'm talking about she like an old Hispanic lady praying the whole time. Yeah. And like they show her on camera, she praying. I think she holding a little thing in her hand. She praying. He go do the stunt, and she stand there like she trained. Like she stand there and wait for them to say okay. Like he go do the stunt because he has to dive through something. It's like he has to break glass, blow up something else, and land in the car. He does it. I think the car ends up flipping or some shit. I can't remember exactly. But then they like cut scene and everybody run into the car. She's over there like just praying, standing still, just waiting on them to get an okay. They get an okay. She run over there, hug them to death. They kiss each other, and it's like, that's a wrap. We got it. And everybody jumps up, yeah. And I was just like, I love that shit. As a person that be on set, like I love that. Like the dynamic of family in the midst of all of filming a movie. The dynamic of these are still real people. Yeah, you might be a stunt man, but you're putting your life on the line to capture a scene of a movie. Yeah. Nigga dove through glass, bro, with a car, big ass fucking window, drove that motherfucker through, and that motherfucker just so happened to tilt, started rolling. But the roll cages in them cars be fire.
Oh yeah.
And they rolling in the car, because they said they had a stunt, and they said all you got to do is when the car start rolling, just sit still. Don't tense up, don't do nothing, just sit there. Talking about the car rolling, they was like, just keep your hands in the car. Talking about that shit. Come to a stop. And you good? Yeah. You good? Yeah. Tell me again. You good? Yeah, I'm good. All right, stay there. We're going to get you down in just a second. Because it ended up landing person upside down. It was like, do not unbuckle. We will unbuckle you. All right. You good? Yeah. You good? Yeah. You sure? Yeah. Keep asking. They keep asking them the whole time. Unbuckle them, get them down. They're like, can you stand? Yep. Stand, get up. Whoa, you did it, yay. They don't celebrate till the shit is over, till they make sure he okay. I love that shit.
That's fine, some motherfucker.
And that category just got added? Like, gonna be on the one for next?
It should be either on the next one or the year after.
I got Tom Cruise.
I understand that though. He be doing some wild.
Yeah, he be doing some.
I'll say the year that.
Don't forget.
I'll say the year that.
But Ballerina comes out this year.
Yeah.
But so does Mission Impossible.
Okay, so does Ballerina.
I'm sorry. If they could go back.
If they go back, John Wick is winning awards, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
I understand that, but let's not just dismiss Tom Cruise.
Let's not dismiss Avengers or having not Avengers.
4.
Fantastic Four. Them motherfuckers got a movie dropping this year. Superman got a movie dropping this year.
All I'm gonna say is this: if they could go,
hell, they just did Captain America, and I don't care what nobody say. That shit was good. The CGI and the stunt coordinator for the people that had to do some of them scenes, flipping and kicking for Anthony Mackie, that shit was good.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying that
the action always been pretty solid.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that
it'd be the story that be pissing me off.
But for a movie that was rewritten all the way up until like last November or some shit.
Yeah.
It's a very good, cohesive movie. Yeah. Like, yes, there are parts that you can tell were shot at last minute. Yeah. But it's like, oh, this was still good. Yeah. I can't give that movie a bad rating for what it went through. For what it went through, I give it an 80. For what it went through. For the movie itself, I get it by like 73. But for what it went through to still come out the way it did, oh yeah, you deserve that.
I feel you on that. I feel you that. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that.
You deserve that 80.
I ain't mad.
You're not 100. You're not an A movie.
Nah.
You're not. I'm sorry, but you get a B.
Is it better than Winter Soldier?
Hell no, but it's the same movie.
No, I believe you on that.
It's the exact same movie. Yeah. Like, not from a negative standpoint. It's a good movie. Like, I enjoyed it. I just feel like they removed certain scenes they should have left in to give the movie a little more. Like, if you read the movie, like as a book, you'd be like, oh, this was good.
Yeah.
But I just think the adaptation into film was a little bit lacking. Only because, again, you rewrote it several times. You switched up an entire storyline aspect of the movie, and you can see remnants of the original story in there, and then you can see where they redid certain things. It doesn't make it a bad movie, because again, for what you get, it's really good.
I just wonder what the test audiences that made them rewrite it so many times. What if that audience just don't fuck with whatever the original
I say that all
was?
the time.
Because
I say that all the time. That's why you need random fans to watch a movie, not people that critique for a living. Not people that, like, yes, you can have those, but it needs to be about 50-50.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much how it is. But the only issue is that so many people in Hollywood want to be moved.
The fans that you bring in are people like
that want to
rock stars, John Campia, and this is no offense to them because I watch all of their content. Variant, Entertainment District, maybe, I don't know, like people like that are a little like higher than us on the caliber scale, that are still movie critics. Like whether we are judged that way or not, once we get on a platform and do this, we are no longer just fans, we are now movie critics.
That's true.
We're critiquing these movies. I just gave it a rating, like that's a critique. So in that aspect, you're bringing us in, and yes, we are fans, but to a degree we become biased due to our nature. And as such, you need a different ground. Like, you need a person that has no interest in telling how they feel about the movie to the public, and just walking out of a movie theater and be like, what you think? Oh, I thought it was alright. Just alright? Yeah, you could have had a little more action, could have had a little more of this. Thank you, sir. Have a wonderful night. Ma'am, you mind telling me how you thought about the movie real quick? There was no romance. If you could have just given just one little kiss maybe between these two characters, I feel like it would have added to the emotional drama, and I just think it would have made the whole movie better.
I think when you make
something like that,
I think when you make certain movies, you need to put it in certain places and be like, hey, let's just get, like you said, random people, but like get niggas, because
But what have I been saying though? Stop
making movies for the masses, make it for your
fucking audience. I understand you want to make $100 million. I understand you want to be in $1 billion movie range. I understand that shit is amazing and the draw to it is fantastic. Make the movie for your fans. I don't need a fucking Marvel movie that applies to a bunch of other shit as good as it is. You can give me an episode of Marvel's Avengers just made big, for just extended into a movie. That's it. That's all you got to do. Or give me a 2-episode feature of one of them Justice League episodes, and then extend it into a movie. I don't need.
Because your fans are gonna be the ones that keep
you going.
Right.
It's just like rap and hip hop. You got people like KRS-One that thrives off of his. And I'm not saying this disrespectfully, because I know you have more fans than this, but this is just an effort to explain what I'm trying to say. Let's say KRS-One has 20,000 fans, 20,000 loyal fans. If he drop an album today, he know he can count on them 20,000 fans. Yes, I want to appeal to the masses, but you know who I'm going to appeal to? Them 20,000. Because them 20,000 going to keep coming back. You're going to keep giving me that money every year. You're going to keep giving me that support every year. You're going to keep
as long as I'm giving you what you asked for.
You know, and you know what, as a man I should do, or as a human being, you know what I should do? Understand the dynamic of what I have going on and live based off of the means of that. Yes, I want millions and millions of dollars, but I'll be fine if this 1,000 can make it me through. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, everybody wants more, but that's where the drama comes in. I'm not saying be complacent. I'm not saying be complacent, but when you have a fan base, appeal to your fan base, because the moment you don't, the way Marvel has been trying to appeal to everybody. And as such, you are losing fans left and fucking right. Because you're trying to appeal to everybody.
The thing was, when they was trying to appeal to everybody, they was in the middle. For whatever reason, they swung. We keep making. It's like,
but you got to think, in the beginning, they wasn't necessarily in the middle. Tony Stark was a womanizer and a drunk.
No, I'm talking about
like the first movie that
he put out. Like, I'm saying Tony overall for a while
he was a dick and an asshole.
And but I'm saying overall for a while, it was like we're gonna total this line in the middle. Cool.
No, I wouldn't even say that. I would say that when they gave a character a personality, they stuck with it. And yes, they had growth and development, but it was still that character.
It was still that character,
You know what I'm saying? Now it's like,
these characters don't have personalities.
Exactly,
they have identities.
You have the identity of this character. You're not the personality of this character. You're not this character.
And it's not like nothing crazy, but it's just like
when I look at Anthony Mackie as Captain America, I see Sam Wilson, Captain America. I see Captain America.
And you should.
And a lot of people be like, no, I don't see that because of this and this. No, you just don't see Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
And you're mad that he's not Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
But he is Sam Wilson.
But to that credit, I like Sam Wilson. I like Falcon as a character, and I do like, and I love Anthony Mackie as an actor. But it's not to diminish him as Captain America for me to say I fuck with Steve more.
He the original.
Right. So like
it's just like an old nigga, it's just like an old nigga saying, "Oh, I like the music today, but I fuck with LL Cool J."
Right. So like I get mad when people try to diminish Anthony Mackie as Captain America to boost Steve Rogers, because you don't have to do that.
No, you don't. They're two different characters.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Two different characters with the same title.
Yeah. And I'm also a person who has the belief of I'd rather you just create a new character. Like
I did. His name is Sam Wilson.
No, I'm saying I'm talking about for the mantle.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. I accept Miles Morales, but I have difficulty calling him Spider-Man.
So what would you call him?
Miles.
Hi, Miles. Thanks for saving the day today. What was his name?
I'm expressing to you, like, me as a fan, I understand that he is one of the Spider-Man. He's Spider-Man in their universe, as well as in Peter being Spider-Man. But I look at.
I think in the Spider-Man show his name is Spud or something.
Oh, it is.
Something like that.
But I look at him.
I think so.
That's a different person.
No, it's not. In the animated show for kids, Spider and Friends or something.
Yeah, it is Spud.
But I look at Miles as, I can't help but say Miles. You get what I'm saying?
Spider.
But I rock with the character.
Spud,
but Peter, I'm always gonna call him Spider-Man, and it's just something I really just can't help. It's like I know Dick Grayson was Batman at one point when Bruce was like not around. Dick Grayson is Robin or Nightwing. You see what I'm saying?
Miles.
Yeah.
So
just
when I say Batman, I instantly think Bruce Wayne. When I say Spider-Man, I think Peter Parker. When I say Captain America, I think Steve Rogers. When I say a lot of characters, I think of them. Like the only character I say that, like, there's only two characters I say like the mantle I could pair from, and that's Green Lantern and the Flash. Because I experienced both Barry Allen and Wally West at the same time. I experienced Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. Well, really Jon Stewart first, but I experienced both of them at the same time in Dan Guy Gardner. And when I was looking at most of those stories when I was a kid, it was always 2 or 3 of them at the same time. So I understand, like, in the context of my kids, they can say Peter and Miles are both Spider-Man. I have difficulty saying, oh, that's Spider-Man. I'm gonna say Miles. I can't help it. So
I feel that.
So that's
you just differentiating the two.
Yeah, but
it's not Spud, it's Spin.
But Michael, when he sees Peter, oh, Spider-Man. When he sees Miles, oh, Spider-Man. I think that's dope as fuck, by the way, to see like that transition, because I can only imagine how people felt when they was like, when we was fucking with Jon Stewart.
His names are Spin, Shadow Spider, and apparently Captain Universe.
I'll go with Shadow Spider.
Yeah.
Shadow Spider would be fire. That would be fire.
Especially if he can go camouflage too. That basically
that would be fire if they had said that. But
I was about to say, I think in the show that he's talking about, he got the electricity powers.
Yeah, like they gave Spider Gwen, or they call it Spider Girl.
He has more powers than Peter.
You're right. You got
He's
Silk.
actually pretty OP.
But besides all the new shit they just gave him in the comics, he has superhuman strength, speed, agility, reflexes, and durability, camouflage or invisibility, bioelectric manipulation, precognitive spider sense, the ability to cling to solid surfaces, genius level intellect, skilled hand-to-hand combatant, and utilizes wrist-mounted web shooters.
So only 2 of those things are not Peter.
No, like 4 of them aren't.
Which other 2?
The camouflage, the electromagnetic, and it was like 2 more right after that you had said.
Precognitive spider sense.
That's Peter.
Peter has that ability to claim the solid outside.
Peter has that.
Genius level intellect.
Peter has that.
Peter has that. Skill hand-to-hand combating utilizes wristwatches.
Nah, that's it. Yeah, that's right.
It's just the 2.
Yeah. And until you get to the new stuff,
The thing about it is the bioelectricity is a large
it's like you have electric powers, but now you go into like the subness of
like
all
of having that, because in having that ability
you can make an electric ball,
or you can do the explosion thing.
Right.
That's where I was going with the explosion. You can dispel large quantities of electrical energy in various different directions, no matter what you're doing. That's an ability and a skill that could be
literally
you can be a superhero purely off of that.
That's why most black superheroes got electric powers, because that's basically the power.
That's not true.
Most of them?
That's not true. That's like a statistical piece of bullshit. Because it's not true. Yes, we have characters that have electrical powers.
I say our characters are the more iconic.
It's just like there are a bunch of white. That's like saying there's a bunch of white characters that got speed powers, or there's a bunch of white people that can fly. Like, no, you just not tapped into the characters that don't necessarily have those abilities. You still got Icon. You still got Luke Cage. You still got Vixen. You still got Black Panther, regular Black Panther. Not his son, because his son does have electrical abilities. But that's because his mama is Storm. Like there's aspects to the abilities certain characters do have, but not all of them have that electrical powers. People just jump to the mainstream ones because the first 2 people they think about is Static and Black Lightning.
Yeah.
But you still got other characters. You got Shadow. I mean, not Shadow. Cloak from Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah.
You got you got villains. You got Avon from Static. You know what I'm saying? Like there are other characters that have Blue Marble. You got characters that don't have Green Lantern. There are characters that don't have electrical abilities that are still fire.
Oh yeah.
It's just we always bring attention to those because what's doper than I don't need to really touch you, I could just fry your ass. Like it looks better on camera.
Force field and all that,
Hell, if I could, there's only one character I really want to make black in a comic that hasn't been black yet.
Who that?
Ghost Rider.
Yeah, we have white, we have Spanish.
That's the only character I want a black version of that there hasn't been.
Technically, we got one. I'm saying we technically got one.
What you mean?
Spawn and Ghost Rider damn near the same.
Negative. That is not true.
They both have a penance there.
They are not the same person.
I said the same person said we're talking about a mantle now, right?
They are similar in aspect.
Penance there.
They're similar in a lot of aspects in how they function in their various comic verses.
The stronger they got, they basically became angels.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Spawn is different as a person, but we got our Ghost Rider. His name is Spawn.
I gotta sit on that one.
That's fine.
I gotta sit on.
That's fine. See, like I said, I'm strict. I'm one of those. I'm very strict on I don't need you to make this white character black. I don't give a fuck.
I feel that. That's why I said he would be the only one.
Right.
There is a black counterpart or version or variant of everybody else.
Right. I'm saying on both spectrums. I don't need a white Black Panther.
We have one.
Hey, we have one.
It's the White Tiger.
So White Tiger. But I said we don't need that. So when it's like Ghost Rider, we have a Ghost Rider, and his name is Spawn. We need to prep up Spawn better.
Spawn is not propped up.
We need another movie. Done.
Jamie Foxx is playing Spawn.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I'm not.
It's been in talks for 8 years. It's just
I needed to be greenlit.
He had that health issue. Yeah. He had another situation that took place.
Yeah.
And then the COVID happened, and then a bunch of other shit. Bruh, he's been.
I love Jamie Foxx.
Now.
I love Jamie Foxx. I've been waiting for a new Spawn movie for a minute.
Personally, I don't want Jamie Foxx.
He wouldn't be my first choice.
I want John Boyega.
Who?
John Boyega.
I don't.
The young boy from Star Wars.
I don't want him.
Why? I think he needs a movie that can truly redeem himself for that monstrosity that was Star Wars. That was not his fault.
No.
But because of how he feels and how he talks about Disney and all of that, he never coming back to Star Wars. But he might come to Marvel depending on what roles they have.
What's Buddy name? If I can show you.
What movie was he in? And who you want him to play?
Spawn.
You can give me
personally, I'm cool with going back to Michael Jai White. I'm perfect.
No, you can give me the black dude from I need a nigga that can play this movie for the next 10 to 15.
No, I'm saying if it was just a one-off movie.
A one-off, yeah.
I'm cool with going back to Michael Jai White.
Yeah. I don't want a one-off movie though. I want at least two. And it takes at least 3 to 5 years to make another one. And Michael Jai White is tapping 60.
It don't have to take that long. They just do that.
Movie I would want to see.
Which one?
Bizarro.
Well, Bizarro.
I think Bizarro is in this movie. I think Ultraman is Bizarro. I think that's going to be like a hidden thing about this movie.
Really?
Yeah. That's my prediction. Yeah, because he's fighting Ultraman at one point, and Ultraman's supposed to be just as strong. And I think Ultraman in this is supposed to be a variation of Bizarro. I could be completely wrong, but I'm not 1,000% sure. But I think so.
I will hope that's right. Only
I don't want a Bizarro in my movie.
I kind of
don't like Bizarro Superman.
No. There's only one villain I need for Superman. One.
Who's that?
And I need the movie to be awesome.
Brainiac.
Yes. Because that is his nemesis. It is not Lex Luthor.
No.
It is not Lobo.
It's not
it is
Darkseid.
Brainiac.
Yeah.
And I need that.
The problem is that they keep doing resets.
Exactly. Yeah. Stop resetting shit.
I can do a better Darkseid than you.
Give me what I want.
I can do a better Lex Luthor than you.
Daniel Kaluuya.
Thank you. I want him. That's what I want.
What he was
To play
like?
Yes.
As soon as they get out the resets,
Think about it. Just sit on it for a minute.
I am.
They going to do a reset.
I'm sitting on it.
Cause
I don't disagree.
That's why I want to play.
I don't disagree.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I've seen him do so much, and I've seen him like kind of go dark. I want to see him get in that shit. I think he would be fucking amazing. I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I'm a little concerned because most of the stuff he's been in, like he don't.
What you mean? You see the Purge? That's what sold me. When he was in the
I haven't seen. Oh, you talking about the first Purge?
The first Purge, not the very first one. The movie called The First Purge.
Oh no, I haven't seen
with all
that.
the black people.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh my god!
I haven't seen that one yet.
Bruh, he got a scene where he goes ham with the straps.
I'm gonna watch
like,
it. I'm gonna watch it.
Bruh.
I'm gonna watch it
What if
tonight.
it was Reggie?
Bruh. Huh?
What if it was Reggie? The guy who played Reggie.
He ain't did nothing else. he got. No offense to him, you did a great job. He got his 15 minutes. You got your 15 minutes, dog. Enjoy it. And I'm not taking nothing away from you because I watched that scene all the time to get me through some of my workouts. Like, you did an amazing job, but it's just I need a qualified actor.
I feel it.
You know
I'm talking about Reggie and Bad Boys. Yeah. Nah.
He did good though.
He did dope as a
very
motherfucker.
Well. What?
Yeah. He need to do other movies.
Yeah.
He need to do other things. I'm pretty sure he has, but he need to do other things to like solidify himself as somebody who can carry something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like not every actor can carry something. We just saw that with Cinderella.
What you mean?
You mean Snow White?
Snow White?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Snow White.
No, well that actress kind of ruined it for herself along with other things. And then, no offense to her, but Gal Gadot can only act when she's doing certain shit.
Yes.
So, yeah, no.
Yeah. But I didn't.
They keep trying to cast people for roles they not meant for because they trying to test their range. You want to test your range? Go test that shit in an indie movie, or on the B list or on the C list somewhere.
And sometimes they just put them in that.
Ass out my A films.
Sometimes they just put them in that film
to pay money to see mediocrity. I understand mediocrity exists and it is much needed, but that shit can go straight to streaming.
Tubi exists for a reason.
Thank you. Tubi exists. Pluto
wanna film a
TV
Tubi
exists. Netflix exists. Huh?
Y'all want to film a Tubi movie?
I mean, I got plenty of them already. Let's do another one. I'm fine with that. I'm just saying, like, Tubi movies exist. I got a couple of them. I'm in and I'm worked on and all of that. And we got another one coming out too. So it's just like,
one on Prime.
that's fine. I got one on Prime. Like, that's what I'm saying. There are other avenues to put out movies instead of putting them in a movie theater in order for them to go mainstream. And some of you actors and actresses, myself included, need to take the time to go somewhere and work on your craft. You don't need to be involved in a big block budget movie, and that goes for the directors and the casting people, because you don't need to be in that movie for absolutely no reason other than the fact that you look good or your name is something. Some people just don't belong.
Let me piggyback off that. And all of y'all can't fucking write. It's too many of them that's like, that's not good. We need to put this, and if you're not gonna put this, I'm not gonna do the movie. Okay, then you need to recast them. Not everybody is what's the dude who played Hulk first? Not the very first Hulk, I'm sorry. Edward Norton. Not everybody's an Edward Norton who's actually a talented writer. Not everybody's Lawrence Fishburne who's an actually talented writer. Not everybody is Denzel who he's not going to rewrite the script. He's going to be like, hey, I'm going to do this because I feel like this. Not every one of you motherfuckers is that. And a lot of them come in with when they got cachet and they're like, that won't work for this character because I feel this way.
Well, certain actors can pull that off to a certain degree.
I said not all.
Oh,
all of them believe that they can do that.
But also that comes from a relationship between the actor and the director, because the director has to agree with what it is that you're doing.
Yeah. But it's too many directors that's pussyfoot now because the studio was saying, nah, you got to make that actor happy or actress happy. Like, no. Fuck them.
Yeah, I will like a good football coach. I don't care that you're the star. I will bench you.
Yeah. Like sometimes it makes sense and it works out. But a lot of the times, no. Shut the fuck up. And a lot of them need to hear that. All of you niggas ain't Jack Nicholson who's like, we're gonna change the scene.
If it ain't like a Michael Bay or something, they ain't gonna listen.
I love when Matt Damon tells that story because people like, yeah, I want to be that kind of actor. Look who the fuck he talking about. It's Jack Nicholson.
The nigga that made Chinatown, the nigga that made the first Batman movie, the nigga that made The Shining. Like, he built up his repertoire to get him to that point to understand when you first come in the door, you don't get to say or do shit like that. It's a bunch of actresses that's in shit that they don't even need to be in, that's winning awards for that shit because of how good they is in comparison to everybody else. I'm not saying that takes anything away from their acting, but it's like, of course you're gonna stand out in a cast full of no names.
Damn. I completely agree with that whole statement.
I'm just saying, like, if you a popular actor or actress and you've been doing it for years and you in a movie or a television series with a bunch of no names, you should be the best actor on the show. You should be. And there should be one or two people in that show that when that show is over, we look to like, you put on a fucking clinic when on screen with this person, because that person should be so good they make you better. Like Paul Mescal or whatever his name is, the nigga that was in Gladiator 2 with Denzel. Denzel had such a good screen chemistry to me with that nigga that he gets my eye when he's on camera now. It's like, hey, that's Paul. He did a good job in Gladiator. I recognize him now. Like,
but you can put that same contrast in, like,
even though Paul was in other things.
But I was gonna say you could put that in contrast with what's his name, Tom Holland. If you've seen Tom before Spider-Man, you can see he's rough. Him being around nothing but Academy stars.
He's gotten better.
But he's gotten
a lot better. But he was better before he was Spider-Man, in my opinion.
That's fine.
Because now everybody's like, oh, this is bad because he's not this and he's not that. And it's like everybody looks at the movie Uncharted like it was bad. Uncharted was a good movie.
Uncharted was a really good movie.
It was a good movie. It's horrible writing.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Horrible writing.
And you expect it to be the game.
It's not the game.
It's not the fucking game. Uncharted doesn't even lend itself to some, like, the only game that's ever been put out that it's like I can make this a movie is The Last of Us. That is it.
Yeah, it's not even a movie; it's a TV series.
Yeah,
but
that's fine. It is. But I'm saying
that could have been adapted and adopted better. But people are too busy trying to put their own twist and spin on shit to existing
IPs. Yeah.
It already exists.
Mm-hmm.
Just take what you have. If you have to expound. I get it. You need to take this 30-second scene and make it 10 minutes. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But you can do that as long as you hire qualified individuals to write for you. Or some of that is really just in physical actions. Like he sits down and picks up the remote. Instead of just sitting down, you sit down. Can I
throw a wrench into y'all shit just a little bit too? Can y'all stop getting? This is just how I feel. I'm not saying people who are college students are all retarded.
We are.
Stop picking these kids from these colleges who said they were they was a literature major, writer, whatever shit, and be like, oh, because you have this degree, you know what you're talking about. Because this, and I just learned this. A lot of the people who are writing right now have only been writing for the past 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Cheap labor.
That's why but that's why a lot of it has went to shit.
And it's not even necessarily that though. Some of these companies are in such dire need for content because of the content wars that it's like we got to put stuff out. We just got to put stuff out. So it's not that they're hiring people like this. It's nepotism as well as we just need to put something out.
I'm fine with just putting something out, but if you're gonna put something like on the big, but I'm like if you
had to cut scripts at, cut scripts at rough draft level. Like people don't realize scripts go through a very, 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 very lengthy, long, drawn out process. And if you stop that after the first draft and you have to make the movie based on the first draft, this shit's gonna suck.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of the time you just quick writing on something that you're gonna expound upon later.
Mm-hmm.
So but because due to the strike, you gotta go based off the script you have. If this is the second draft of a 7 drafts that we're gonna do, and this is the second draft, this shit's terrible. Where it says actor shakes head for 5 minutes just to make up screen time. That's all the actor does for that 5 minutes. You can't expound upon that because you can't adjust the script due to the strike. So when he goes on there, it's gonna be 5 minutes of this. Because that's all he can do for 5 minutes because that's all they wrote in the script. Then that's all they wrote in the script that they could use at that point because he was going to go back and expound upon it later.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like you have to go based off of what you have, and that shit sucks sometimes. That's why you got a bunch of movies like Wolverine Origins that ended up being trash. Like
Wolverine Origins was before the writer's strike.
No, it wasn't. It was going on during the writer's strike.
Wolverine Origins?
Mm-hmm.
When we were kids?
Mm-hmm. There was a writer's strike going on.
There was a writer's strike at the time?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's why that movie's trash.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's either that one or the Wolverine.
Oh yeah, that.
One of them suffered.
Ugly looking.
The one where he was in China.
Oh, that's the Wolverine.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's the Wolverine.
And half of that, 75% of that movie was dope as shit.
Yeah, it might have been dope, but that movie had a lot of flaws. I think it was that one. So whichever one came around on like 04 or 07.
The one he fought the Blob in the ring, or
yeah, that one.
The one he fought the Blob in the ring
with Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool.
That one.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds.
He wasn't in China. Yeah, he wasn't in China.
There was a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, that I agree. But, and even
it was one of them. I gotta look it up. It was.
And even then, it's not like an awful movie. But it did have problems.
But there are movies that suffer because of it. Yeah, I do believe it was that one. What year did that come out? Oh no, was this?
That's not the one that had Ryan Reynolds in it.
I think that was the one he fought the Blob in the ring, and
yeah, that's the one. The one he talking about had Will.I.am in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it had Gambit.
Yeah, Gambit.
It had Taylor something playing Gambit.
Origins.
Yeah.
Wolverine Origins.
Yeah, it was Origins. Talking about this one.
What year did it come out? 2009.
Yeah,
it was that one.
And I liked that movie.
It was that one.
It wasn't
That's the one because
I was very mad at how they did Deadpool.
Because there was a strike in 07 and 08.
Oh, okay.
Whenever there's a strike for the next 2 to 3 years, the movies that come out will be ass.
But there's a reason why I said 10 years.
Yeah,
because some of the movies, a lot of the movies that was coming out before.
The Wolverine I like.
That movie was terrible.
But the Wolverine?
I like the Wolverine.
X-Men Origins Wolverine?
Oh no.
It had some dope scenes, but that movie was terrible.
The stuff I don't like with Deadpool. Yeah. I'm with you. But a lot of that movie I was like, this not that bad.
The CGI at the end, that whole fight
I just
scene,
said the
terrible.
stuff with that was I'm with you on that. I'm saying the stuff before it.
That explosion scene, if you really pay attention to the scene, terrible.
I fucked with it.
The hardest part of the movie was when he pulled out his claws and Sabretooth was like, ooh, shiny.
That was funny. But
you killed the hardest character in the show and you downplayed the second hardest character in the movie.
Yeah. I was saying the reason why I said the last 10 years is because before the pandemic, before the writer strike, there was a lot of duds in movies and television period that was just awful. And me now learning, I'm saying I just learned this 2 days ago, me now learning that a lot of it is due to them wanting to have cheap labor, because a lot of the writers that they were using were Academy Award winners, were like people who were like amazing, and they're making these amazing films, making them billions and billions, and they say, yo, all I want is 2% of the.
But it's just like now when you go online.
So now they're getting like these young motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's just like now when you go online to like CBR and Screen Rant and all these other websites. They trying to get people to come to their website. They keep putting out all these bullshit articles.
Yeah. And
they only paying these people like $5 an hour or the equivalent of.
Yeah. So like when I be looking at that, I was just when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is why there's a decline, because you're not going for talent. You're going for the cheap labor. Because I'm not saying none of them are talented. That's not what I'm saying. There are some that are coming out who are talented. But if you got 10,
and you're not outsourcing, even if it's just for a specific scene.
That too.
And that's what I'm trying to tell some people. Like, I wanted to be a writer, a different type of writer. Like, I didn't want to write an entire movie. I want to be the person you come to when you need help for a specific scene. Yeah. I want to be a professional media consultant.
Kind of like what happens with me sometimes with like people will make like dance routines and they'll call, hey, I'm fucking up on these 26 seconds. I'm gonna send you this. Just help me out.
Help me add to it.
And then and I'll watch it like, oh, I see where you're struggling. Make it, send it to them. And they're like, bruh, thank you. Here go this amount type of deal. So like, it needs to be more people like that. And it also needs to be people that's like objective in those fucking offices. That's like, nobody want to see that. Because there are things that they put in movies and TV that somebody needs to say, nobody want to see that. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like this movie, there doesn't need to be romance because that's not what the story is about. Well, they'll get no. The story is about this dude in wartime, in combat, and he's trying to get from this castle to the next castle. Now, if you want to sprinkle in women here and there, fine, but you don't need a love interest in that story. Somebody needs to be able to say that to the producers.
We was just talking about this before y'all got here. I was saying, there are movies where I don't need a love story at all.
Yeah.
That's what I did opposite for us.
So, we was talking about,
do we need a Supergirl movie?
Yeah, do we need a Supergirl movie? I'm of the understanding that let's
ready to see Lobo, honestly.
Right. I only want to see him. I'm not saying I don't like Kara. I love Kara, by the way. I just let me fuck with Superman for a little second before you give me.
Get Superman right.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Just let's do this first.
Because I'm with,
and then we can get to her.
Because I'm with Smoke on I Want a Brainiac movie.
Brainiac, buddy.
The only thing is that I know
Matalo.
They're gonna need at least till the second or third movie to bring him in.
Say that again.
They're gonna need at least till the second or third movie to bring the Brainiac.
Just like in Marvel, I don't really want. I want Doom, but I don't need the Doomsday movie. They trying to make him a big bad. Just have him be a regular character that just do shit. That way he can do more and all of that. Like
you can build him up to.
You should have just did an Avengers movie with like Super Adaptoid or something.
You know, I agree with you, Smoke. From last week though, we was talking about that Marvel characters and people go through like more scrutiny and their characters just like, damn, that is true. Yeah. Mutants.
They have real basis in their backstory to shit that either takes place in real life or like have real emotional drawnness to them. Like the DC characters have one or two instances in their life that define them forever. Like Batman, as much as I love him, like you take away his parents dying, there's nothing else to him.
That's facts.
The Flash, you take away the death of his mother, there's nothing else to him. Diana, you take away the being cast out of Themyscira.
Define.
There's nothing else to her.
Define. There's nothing else.
And by nothing else, I'm not saying that there's not other aspects to what make them the hero that they are.
Okay.
I'm just saying the main thing that makes them who they are. It's like Captain America is still Steve Rogers outside of being Captain America. And what I mean by that is he was who he was before the serum.
Yeah.
He just was puny.
You don't think that about Flash?
Tony Stark was still...
before you continue, you don't think that about Flash?
What do you mean?
Barry was always Barry before he got the powers.
Yeah, but he probably would have never made Flashpoint.
Because his mom died.
No.
When he was young.
Correct, but what you just said, what you said about what's the name? Because you just messed me up. You said Steve was always Steve. Steve was that way before the powers.
Mm-hmm.
Barry was that way before the powers.
But his purpose
he wanted to help people
for doing what he does is because of the death of his mother.
Correct, but but you got doctors who want to be doctors because of the death of somebody in their life.
And I'm not taking nothing away from that.
But I'm saying there's other aspects to them. I'm saying it's more than that.
In the aspect of DC characters, I'm just saying it's a little more. It's more shallow with DC.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. The waters are more shallow. In DC, it's a little puddle. In Marvel, it's a lake.
I disagree. I see what you're saying. I do.
If Bruce's parents didn't die, he ain't allowed to become Batman.
He would have been a doctor or a regular old detective.
He would have been a doctor probably like his dad.
Yeah, exactly.
You probably say
Flash's mother wouldn't have died.
Flash probably would have never went into forensic science.
I don't disagree. He probably would have did something else, but he's
still Barry Allen. He still has a desire to help people.
He is as a person. He's just not going to be the superhero.
So you saying Tony Stark still would have made all of those armors if he never got kidnapped?
He was still a weapons dealer. That's what I
said. He would have become Iron Man even if he did not get kidnapped. Is what you're saying?
I think so. Eventually,
I completely disagree.
And the only reason I say that is
he became it because he had no choice because he had to get himself out. He was like, "Oh, I'm fired this. I'm gonna do this." That's what happened. It wasn't.
That's what happened in the movie. If we look back at comics, if we look back at all these other aspects, there are plenty of times where there was a suit of armor, the blueprints already written up by Howard before Tony even got a hold of them. So somewhere in the basis of who Tony was, and if you even remotely look at the generic fucking chronological transgression or whatever, you know the word I'm trying to say, the progression of weapons making, you know eventually you go from a handgun to a body of armor. Everybody does that. Before Iron Man was even around, the government was trying to do that shit. So that is natural evolution.
It's Peter Shallow. Then. He's one of your shallow characters.
I say the same thing about Matt.
I'm only asking because he doesn't.
To a degree.
That's fine.
To a degree.
That's fine.
Peter, to a degree.
Yeah.
To a degree, yeah.
I agree that Diana is incredibly shallow. I will say that. I don't think Jon Stewart or Hal Jordan is shallow whatsoever. I don't think neither of them are shallow whatsoever because they were who they were way before they had them fucking rings. They went through a lot of what they went through way before them fucking rings that made them the men that they were. And when they got the rings, it's a reason why the rings chose them. And those two are considered the greatest of greatest. Oliver Queen is not shallow.
John do?
Oliver Queen isn't shallow. But I just gave
Oliver Queen isn't shallow?
I said
shallow?
He's not as shallow as Batman. I will say.
What has he gone through?
Besides the death of his father, much like Tony Stark, and inherited a company much like Tony Stark, and
much like Bruce Wayne too.
Yes, I'm talking about. I'm going back and forth on these characters, and much like him, he had always been a person, even when he got the money, where he would help out various absorbent amounts of people, somewhat to his detriment, which is why he was targeted and had his plane shot down to begin with. And then as he was on that fucking island for, I believe it was 5 to 10 years, and becoming more of himself and being like, hey, I'm incredibly good with this bow. Long before he decided I'm going to be the Green Arrow, and him having those lessons, and then finally going back to civilization, if you want to say that. There's a lot of nuance to his character that isn't shallow on why he do the things that he do, and you can see him when they do give you the flashbacks of the stuff that he goes through and what he has went through, much like Tony Stark. Now I give you Batman because most of the time they only harp on the death of his parents, but he also lingers on the aspects of between him and Catwoman on because she wants him to, you know, break his code, but he's like, he knows he's crazy. And that's why when they was trying to do the aspects of healing Batman as Bruce fucking Wayne in the story from last year, a lot of people was like, but then what is he gonna be? Isn't that the point, to create something more that is than just that? Mm-hmm. So I said, because you was one of the people that said, oh, I don't like that they're doing that. I'm like, I do because
it takes away from who Batman is as a character. And the moment you heal Batman, he's no longer Batman.
I disagree.
It's the vengeance and the rage and that goes.
So then why is Tony Stark doing what he's doing? Why?
Because he's an arms dealer and he wanted to stop.
Why is he actively doing it right now? All of that already happened. That's done. Why is he doing it still?
Because he likes the attention.
So isn't that shallow?
Tony Stark as an individual
is shallow.
So I was talking about the development of the character and how when you look at the basis of the development of the characters, when you look at DC characters and you look at what makes them who they are, it goes about this deep. When you look at the Marvel characters and what makes them who they are, that shit go a little bit deeper.
I don't agree with that. Okay. Static not shallow.
Okay.
Vixen not shallow.
Okay.
She's not. She's far better than Diana.
Would you say that Daredevil shallow?
Daredevil's a Marvel character, but no, I wouldn't.
I would, because without the death of his father, he would never got into the stuff.
No, without being blind. It's without the car accident that really is his pivotal moment.
So then that's a shallow aspect of him.
There is a shallow aspect, but that's just not who he is as a person. He's a lawyer first, and then he's Daredevil. He was a lawyer first. Like, that's the thing. Like, he's always he's always had an
identity before Daredevil.
Attraction, I guess, to law as a person with and without the nature of Daredevil.
Okay.
And what I'm saying,
is Barry not that without being Flash? Something happened, and he went into forensics.
Because of his dad going to prison and his mama getting murdered.
Correct. You just said he's always had an aversion, right? And that's why
not based on the shit that happened. That was a part of his character.
So it's a part of his character. So Flash going into forensics, and him getting the powers of Flash, he never had to do any Flash shit, but he still decided to do it.
I see what you're saying, and I can see that.
John Stewart was military. Hal Jordan, military.
Let me put this in different words. If you send the characters of DC to therapy, they'll stop being heroes.
That's not true, because they have therapy.
Marvel to therapy, they won't stop being superheroes.
Did you forget what happened in the timeline?
If you heal Batman, he won't be Batman.
That's not true. They're healing him right now. He's still Batman.
He's fucking trash. The comics are getting worse. That's why Absolute Batman is so hard.
Dude. They have a comic where they literally go to therapy. I forgot exactly what it's called, but because there was one of the characters ended up dying and they was trying to see who was going around murking people, but they said this is supposed to be the sanctuary for us to have therapy and talk and communicate. They all of them, Superman, Batman, Flash, Booster Gold.
Yeah, Captain America went to therapy in Avengers Endgame.
So I'm saying, you say if you send them to therapy, then they're not them characters, and they were still all of them characters, and this story is from like fucking 3-4 years ago. It's a lot that's going on in Marvel, and it's a lot that's going on in DC. I disagree. A lot of the stuff that's going on in Marvel, I don't think is all that good.
So you think healing these characters makes them better?
I think it can. Because if
doesn't get sent to Earth, does he become a superhero?
No. He's a regular
fucking Kryptonian. But when he lands and he realizes he has all these powers, the stuff that the Kents instill within him make him who he is. Now, the thing that I understand that a lot of people have aversion to when it pertains to a lot of DC characters is the fact of, why aren't they killing people? Because a lot of people don't fuck with that. Oh, the Marvel characters are gonna kill because that's probably what you should do. And I don't disagree. You should. Some people just need to go. Bruce do need to kill the Joker. He does. But I also understand why he chooses not to.
Once you told her down.
That's why after he killed the Joker, he sat in jail.
He went and chose and put himself in jail.
Yeah, he did.
Because he know I crossed this line.
There's no use for you anymore. As much as I love him, there's no use for you anymore.
That's not what happened. He went and he said, because now when I do this, I know I'm going to continue doing it to the rest of them.
Which is what needs to be done.
But I'm choosing to stick to my moral code and send myself to jail because there still needs to be justice done.
All right, give me a character in DC that goes through something like this. You are an all-powerful being, and then you're cast out of your domain. You are no longer worthy of the one item that you deem to give you all this sustainable energy when really it's just a tool. You then realize you're worthy again, become worthy, and that item is now a tool of you, your worthiness, and is the testament to everything that makes you who you are. You, in order to evolve into a higher being, you must now destroy that thing with your own body. Mm-hmm. The thing that makes you feel worthy, you must destroy that with your own body, now giving you the power of something even greater than you were before. Also building up your mentality and your willpower to handle certain situations that you would have never saw coming. Give me a hero in DC that goes through something like that has to kill the one thing that makes them who they are in order to make themselves better.
Before you said that, I was going to say Shazam.
I'm talking about Thor.
I know you're talking about Thor.
No, he was saying he was giving you one of the characters that he would have said. I'm going to say the story you just named outside of that last piece of it is fucking Dr. Fate. Verbatim is Dr. Fate. And the reason why he destroyed the mask, the helmet was because the helmet, and this is from an actual comic, said, once you go, I'm choosing your daughter, and I will not let her go. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I refuse. This thing that gives me all the power to do everything, to the point that the Spectre
What does he get after he destroyed the helmet, though? Nothing, right?
The Spectre grants him the power of fate.
Oh, okay.
He became something more.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I'm saying, and that was made before Thor.
Because Thor went from the worthiness chapter being God and all this other stuff.
Oh, don't get it twisted.
And then he goes to having to become the God of fists and all this other stuff.
Don't get it twisted.
I feel
although the story I just think came out long before that one with Thor, I still prefer Thor's story over that. I do identify with now that I have kids making that sacrifice, but I fuck with Thor more than I fuck with Dr. Fate. Mm-hmm. So
I get what you're saying. And you proved me wrong in that aspect. I can be wrong. I mean, it's just
I can't be too.
When it comes with the characters of DC, I just feel like when they're creating the character depth chart, their depth stops at a certain realm. That's why I don't like Superman. Yeah, his depth stops at a certain level. He doesn't alter or veer off.
I agree with you with
Even
Superman.
Captain America became the Nomad at one point.
Yeah. Would you count him when he lost his powers because he was sent to a different dimension, not the Justice League comic? Yeah, not the Justice League comic, and he had to revert to a space that he even said that he didn't want to go to just to survive, because he's like, oh, this is what humans deal with.
I like that because it builds character and depth. Like when he didn't have his powers and he was still trying to fight alongside them, I enjoy that. Yeah, it gave the character more depth.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the Marvel characters, when you read the comics, when you watch the movies, when you look at the shows, they're more relatable because they have more depth to them.
But can there also be?
There are layers. They're like ogres. They have layers. Onions.
Can I make a caveat to that? I think that we are pivoting only because of this. Most of the characters that I'm referring to were made in the 1930s, 40s, early 50s, and your characters.
Most of the characters that I'm talking about were made in the 40s.
No. Most
like
of the
40s, 50s on this.
Most of your characters were created in the 60s.
Even still.
So I'm saying
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. So a lot of what we are.
So our characters are more modernized. They
that's what I think it is. That's what I think it is.
I'm not saying there isn't causation to what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I think that the characters.
No, what I was gonna say is that the stories that I'm referring to, most of them, I'm not gonna hold you, are like from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and the stories that they put out now. I like a lot of the stories they put out now, not all of them. But I do like a lot of the stories they put out, like the stuff that they put out with Green Arrow from 2012 to right before Convergence. It was fucking great. It was great what they did with Green Arrow. I love a lot of what they do with the Green Lantern Corps. I love what they do I like what they was doing with Superman.
All I know is Kilowog better be in the TV show.
Facts. I love what they was doing with Superman with the new 52, but people was bitching because they was like, this isn't the Superman I grew up with. I'm like, that's the point.
But see, I like
that Superman was a lot going through a lot more.
He was, and that's why I did like the Justice League iteration of Superman, the entire cardboard conversation. But you can see, and I know we always jump back.
I was talking about the new 52.
I know, but I'm referring to that one as that's what I want in the movie.
Yeah,
I need the Superman that's clearly holding back.
Yeah,
like he's doing it, but it's like, oh, I don't want to knock his face off.
Yeah.
I don't want a Spider-Man as Dr. Ock knock his jaw off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do that. So let's hold back our abilities and try to solve this best possible. Because then you have, see, Superman is so OP that like in the movie that he's fighting that star-looking creature.
Probably Starro.
It's not Starro. It's
not that one-eyed starfish.
It's not Starro though. It's like this one-eyed sun-looking thing, creature. Anyways, it got a bunch of tentacles. Superman should be able to grab one of those tentacles, just one and sling his ass into space.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be a problem.
But
I want Superman to go out there and hold back. And it's like, oh, okay, now just end it, bro. Yeah. Like, show that you're holding back to show everybody that, oh, it's like, I'm worthy of your love and admiration. Now I'm gonna just show you how quick this can be over. That's why my favorite scene in Man of Steel, when he
let himself get locked up.
Yeah, he was just sitting there and he was like, as long as I can get myself free, and he just stands up and lets his hands go. He didn't even break it. He just lets his hands go.
Yeah. I chose to let y'all grab me. This is a joke.
To me, that is power.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I need.
I fuck with you on that. That's one of the main scenes I go to when I'm like, if you want to know what's a put on screen that Superman moment, I let y'all lock me up. This is a choice. Mm-hmm. This is not, and it's not y'all's. Mm-hmm. And when he did break it, just that simple, and she looked like, oh shit.
And I also wasn't saying what I was saying to say that Marvel doesn't have shallow characters, because there are some characters just exist to exist, like Squirrel Girl. Yeah. But it's just,
I felt that way about Moon Girl. They're doing a lot. They're doing good with her.
Pantheon and the of characters that Marvel has, it's like some of these characters get really deep. Like Wolverine gets deep.
Wolverine, yes.
Wolverine gets deep.
Yes.
Deadpool to a degree gets deep.
Yeah. When they really want to go into
even side characters that everybody loves, like Gambit, gets deep. Rogue has the deepest story of them all.
But Gambit wasn't always a side character though. Gambit wasn't always a side character though.
When was he the main character?
He had his own comic at one point.
No. I'm talking about in a series. He had his own comic. Like most characters have had their own comic, or most. So like, I'm just saying, like in a series of events for the team.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
He's not a main on the team. Yeah. He might be a main villain for the team to a degree, but he's not a main like the mains are Storm,
Wolverine, Cyclops,
Jean, Professor,
Rogue.
Beast, Rogue, even Bobby.
And sometimes Mystique.
Right. Gambit's not in that pantheon of characters.
Yeah, he's right after
fine.
that.
He's right after that. He's tier 2. And it's like, I need some of those characters to have a little more depth and range to them. But even still, in that, Gambit has a little more depth to him than, say, Wally West Flash.
Which Wally West?
Kid Flash. He has a little more depth to him than Kid Flash.
I can agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying when I'm saying I need the characters to just be a little bit deeper. That way when you put them on screen, it's like, damn, I feel that. Like I'm in with that character. Like I can